Don Lemon may actually want to quit after the exchange he had with this British scholar. I'll get her name so that because we need to know this woman's name and actually book her very soon because she's amazing. He picked the wrong guest to try to play the reparations card with in discussing the British throne, British colonialism over the death of Queen Elizabeth II, right? So they had a discussion where Don raised that point and it went viral, not for the reasons Don would want. Watch.
Some people want to be paid back, and members of the public are wondering, why are we suffering when you have all of this vast wealth? Those are legitimate concerns.
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of a supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? That was in Africa. And when across the entire world, when the slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? The first nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British. In Great Britain, they abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say, who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages? Absolutely. That's where they should start. And maybe, I don't know, the descendants of those families where they died in the high seas trying to stop the slavery, that those families should receive something too, I think, at the same time.
It's an interesting discussion, Hillary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, that's an interesting discussion. Pretty rare you hear facts on CNN. I think we gotta let you go. Yeah. Thanks for your input. It's like 4 a.m. in London. She's bringing fire. Yeah. Outstanding work.
She just fed him face first into a wood chipper.
I mean, amazing.
Oh my God. She was so earnest. Her name is Hillary Fordwich. She was so earnest and like so likable. And I'm sure he was like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, honestly, that has to be an all-time best final appearance on CNN in history. Congratulations for her going out in a blaze of glory like that. It's like there's a film in theaters called The Woman King, right? Where it's about, this brave warrior woman in Africa who fought and helped a king. What they said that they reimagined and don't cover in the story is that actually the tribe in Africa she was with was like the most prolific slave traders in the history of Africa. Yeah. They're like, well, we left that out of the film to like reimagine it. It's like, oh my God, like the entire left is trying to reimagine our history. And then when you have truth, just like slap them in the face like that, they're like, all right, well, that's an interesting point. We're going to have to let you go. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. He had nothing. It's because all of his arguments are surface level. He never had anybody push back. So he was like, what?
I mean, that's
what?
CNN. That's CNN.
What I love about it was the part right at the top, Megyn, where he says, members of the public are wondering. And if you ever see that, it's always a nice little wink and nod because the media will insert itself into a discussion that he wants to use to drive a narrative saying, people are saying, or the public demands. And in reality, it's just what that guy wants to talk about.
Bingo.
Right?
Yeah. No, can I say I was on GB News a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about that people are pissed off about one of the massive diamonds in the crown jewels in the Queen's crown, and they're like, we want that back. That needs to go back to India. That was the subject of plunder. They got that as a result of plunder, which is a fun word. I need to use that more often. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? Let's take a look. I'm sure there's a history. So you go back, and to this woman's point that she was making, I said on GB News a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, you know what? Let's take a look. Let's see if this is a subject of plunder, whether India owes it or Great Britain owes it back to India. Well, you will not be surprised to learn that before it was in India, it was in Afghanistan and it was in Iran, and both of their kings got murdered suddenly, and the diamond was suddenly in a new country. And so it's like murder, diamond appears in the next new country. And then when India finally got it, by the way, it was Pakistan. So Pakistan is like, it's our diamond if it's anybody's diamond. It's not India's diamond. So like, good luck trying to figure out who gets the damn diamond. But there is a contingency being like, give it back to India, you plunderers. People are just like, okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, just make it like a Game of Thrones situation. If some king dies, it should be like a free-for-all, right? Like if you can get the crown jewels out of there, it's yours.
Yeah, it's yours. That's exactly right.
Honestly, America's owed a lot of reparations at this point. How many times have we helped Britain out?
If you're like me, you are growing more and more concerned about the future. The market's all over the place. Inflation Highest level in 40 years. Interest rates are skyrocketing. Market experts are using the word recession and terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. Not good. If you want to protect your future, call a precious metal dealer I trust. American Hartford Gold. They can show you how to protect your saving and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. All it takes to get started is a short phone call, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or inside your IRA or 401k. And they keep it simple. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. And as an exclusive offer for my fans, if you call them right now, they're going to give you up to $1,500 of free silver and a free safe too on qualifying orders. Don't wait. Call now. Call 866-518-2955. That's 866-518-2955 or text Megyn, MEGYN, to 65532. Again, call 866-518-2955 or text Megyn to 65532. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.